Hi friends, this is Kalpun Pisa. Let me show you a fact that nobody seems to see. And it's very obvious. We are created by coitus, and our brains emerge blank, and the brain is the creator of thought. Okay, so when the brain is sick, it accepts as true bizarre mathematical beliefs. And bizarre mathematical beliefs, mythologies, and nonsense like that are at the core of all religions and all brain disorders like schizophrenia. Duh! What a concept, right? Now, show me a religion that doesn't have bizarre, mathematical, deluded, irrational, false beliefs, and I'll stand corrected. Also, show me a schizophrenic or neurological disorder that does not have the same bizarre mathematical beliefs and fantasies and mythologies that they accept as true, that the sick accept as true. What does it tell us? It tells us that the brain is the creator of thinking. If I operate you precunious, operate the brain, or anybody operate, or give you drugs, or bump you over the head, or prevent you from having oxygen, have hypoxia, well, you will have delusions. You will have crazy, distorted thoughts. You will have temporal limbical interference, cognitive dissonance, sensory gating deficits in the pulvinar. In other words, all the information that your senses acquire in the brain are going to be distorted. It's like looking at the world with lenses that are all blurry and bad, and everything is distorted. You have no idea what you're seeing. But if your brain is crazy, has a problem with dysfunction, then all the distorted images will appear to you to be reflections of reality. But then everybody says that they're not, that you're sick. That's exactly what happened in religion. And religion is a psychosis, an HIV of the brain, my postulated HIV of the neural array, no different than other neurological disorders. So, terrorism is innate in all religions, beliefs, and psychosis. Look at the Crusades. The Christ-psychotics invaded Nadi land, and they attempt to convert, to impose their Christian crap on them. They do it today. The missionaries do it today. The most despicable, disgusting, psychotic, imbeciles, psychopath in the world. American missionaries. Mormons, pieces of garbage. All of them, they go to places that don't belong and force their psychosis on everybody. You must have Ebola, you must have my cancer, you must have my schizophrenia, you must believe what I believe. This is exactly what happened in missionaries. So the Christianity is imposed on everybody. This happens today. Today, it happens in the United States. Don't you see the Jehovah's Witness, Adventists, and all the psychopaths knocking at the door, forcing their cancer on you? It happens all over. Christianity is the most despicable psychosis ever. You don't see Muslims coming around to you on your door and knocking at your door and say, believe in Allah. No, they do it on TV, they do it on different things and the mosques. They're psychotic. Religion is a neurological disorder, it's one of the schizophrenias, and people don't see it. As long as you have religion, you have terrorism. There's 73 sects in Islam, and Christ psychosis has many, many, many different sects. And they're all psychotic, and they all try to impose their beliefs on everybody else. They're crazy stuff. So it's not radicalized. So ISIS is doing what they believe. They believe in the rapture. Boko Haram does it too. Christian Adventist does it. They do it too. Remember Jim Jones? Koresh? The white supremacists, the KKK, the old Christians. They're trying to impose this thing. The blacks are bad, and homosexuals are evil and sinful, and burn the scientists at the stake. And you see that in the Congress of the United States. All Christianity infected imbeciles. So you cannot have religion without terrorism. It's like you cannot have water without humidity. Simple as that. Here I explain it.
Military action in Iraq.
Of course.
What about the political context?
It's not political, it's religious, you imbecile.
What about dismantling the discourse on both sides?
No, you're dismantling the religion. You dismantle the churches and the mosques and synagogues.
The OIC tried to focus on.
Let me ask you about that.
That's what you dismantle.
Because I think to your
Get rid of the churches. That's what the center of infection are. The HIV of the brain, religious psychosis, the cancer HIV.
Extremism.
That's what you dismantle.
Center.
Extremism is due to religion, you idiots. See?
But, since 1990, Brooke, the OIC has initiated action, have foreseen a problem coming, and we have agreed as a community of nations, all 57 member states, to have a convention.
You cannot treat the symptoms and cure the disease.
Code of conduct.
Of schizophrenia. You have to go deep into the brain, and you have to study this, and you have to give people treatment. You have to treat these imbeciles.
Center aims at
the human body, and the action of the human body is controlled by the brain.
If you go to another terrorist group like Boko Haram in northeast Nigeria,
they're all Islam psychotics.
Roaming the streets.
Boko Haram. What is the religion psychosis of the Boko Haram? What is it?
Sense of...
what is this? Religious psychosis of the Vatican and the Crusaders? What is it?
You come and promise them.
It's a psychosis of Christianity, of Islam, of Hinduism, or Buddhism, and all these diseases of the brain. This is the problem. People do not see it. I'm so sick and tired of it. You cannot have religion of freedom of religion. It's like having a freedom of schizophrenia, and freedom of Ebola, and freedom of cancers.
The issue, and I know what
the brain creates this thinking, imbeciles.
The common denominator.
Because of all the problem.
The youth, the disenfranchised.
No.
To your point about socioeconomics.
No. The common denominator is the religious psychosis, the cancer of the brain people are born into and conditioned with.
The Organization of Islamic Cooperation.
Idiot. That's not cooperation. Anything. Psychos.
By ISIS French prosecutor there. More when we come back.
It's going to be over, and they'll be all over the place. It's psychosis unless people realize that religion is a mental illness. It's the cause of all the problems.
Videos smuggled out of the ISIS stronghold and used by media outlets like CNN are the only way to see what life is like under extremist rule. ISIS has banned journalists, replacing them with slick propaganda.
See, it's not propaganda, it's not radicalism, it's religious psychosis.
Pulling back the curtain on the horrors of ISIS rule in their
73 sects in Islam, you stupid imbeciles. Get a brain.
Slaughtered silently.
Idiots.
Started to execute, to kill, and do all these.
Religion is doing it.
Violations.
Of course, there is no human rights in religious psychosis, idiots.
No one even.
They smuggle out a lifeline to the outside world.
You can say no life in America. You can't do anything. No shops, university, no schools, nothing to do, and everything is expensive.
The Crusaders did this for 300 years.
Yeah.
One woman snuck a camera under her veil, risking her life to film this video
in the 10th century.
ISIS brutal treatment of women.
They can go outside alone with the husband, father, brother, or whatever.
It's Islam psychosis.
And she.
See? Religious psychosis, you imbeciles. The regular Muslims do the same stuff. The regular Sunni Muslims, the other one. There's 73 sects.
Them only to do sex. To buy and sell the Yazidi girls.
All religions do that.
Prostitutes.
Man, Christians do the same thing.
Was covering clashes between. He managed to escape the country and now manages the group's social media.
ISIS arrested one of our reporters. They checked his laptop and they found our campaign logo. The ideology of ISIS, maybe after 2 months or 3 months or...
It's not an ideology, it's a sickness. It's a religious psychosis. It's a disease, HIV of the brain, you dumb idiots.
Say they don't know who will be next.
Sort of a prophecy to fulfill a prophecy. So very terrifying, and that's what law enforcement, not only in the United States, but across Europe.
The end of days crap. All religious psychotic infected imbeciles have this end of days bullshit. They're psychotic. So atheists, wake up.
For the entourage of a
Religious beliefs are a mental illness, the HIV of the brain. I'm saying that ad nauseum. You guys are imbeciles. Atheists never speak up. Never. There are all these nuts running around, killing people, doing all this bombing, and the stupid atheists, American atheists, ignorant imbeciles, they don't speak up. Cowards, get some balls, imbeciles. Churches, synagogues, mosques, spew all that garbage. This mental garbage, just like schizophrenics do. They bomb people and kill people. They circumcise kids. They got all the blood. They suck their babies' penises. And you piece of garbage, ignorant, atheist, imbecile, don't say anything. It is your fault. All the problems we have in the United States of America and the world. Piece of garbage, ignorant, clueless atheists.
For months.
And they're scientists and intellectuals. You get your brains fixed.
When reported,
it's incredible the ignorance of atheist idiots in this country. The coward piece of garbage. I blame all of it. It's your fault. All these churches, they fuel the garbage, and you guys say nothing because you're cowards,
despite
pussies.
All these raids, Jake, and all those arrests, 9 people, still no sign.
Islam psychotic chants imitating the Gregorian chants of the Catholic Church. Same thing. All that. Well, we all know that Ted Cruz is a Christ psychotic infected imbecile, and he's also an immigrant. This imbecile, his father is Christ psychotic pastor, an infector, the infected brain of children that only reads only one book, the Bible. The guy is an imbecile that belongs in a mental institution, not government. But I love it that he criticized our POTUS, our brilliant, amazing Obama, the POTUS, the Christus of the American Empire, the New Rome. And I love it. Thanks to technology created by atheists, mentally healthy atheists, over millennia of gathering information, creating the technology of today, because they are not infected with Christ with the religious psychosis over the centuries, and the imbeciles burn books and destroy people and destroy scientists and burn them at the stake. Anybody with brains, anti-science, they hated science, is a sin for the imbeciles. And Christ psychotic Senator Cruz is one of them. A senator. This imbecile belongs in an asylum, a mental institution. And I love it, the way the technology is really slapping Christ psychotic infected imbecile Cruz with this. This caricature is awesome. Look at this. I love it. And this is due to mentally healthy atheism that created the science of the technology that we have today. Over millennia of acquiring information, not believing in the zombie God and crazy stuff of the Bible or any mythological book, as is the Bible. The theotarded and imbeciles, ignorant idiots, they're still believing all that stuff, and these lies are spreading churches. But this, I love it. This imbecile belongs to the mental institution. Our amazing POTUS is always smiling at ignorant imbeciles like him. What is he doing in the Senate? He belongs in a mental institution, idiot.
Afternoon that the use of Captagon would not be surprising, but it only...
Well, in Nazi Germany,
the human
methamphetamines like crack,
rather than any perceived...
They didn't have the name at the time, it was used.
No mistake, of course, whether
that's the reason Nazis were so
poison or not,
overwhelming, the soldiers. We're going to start killing everybody.
And its addiction to violence is spreading.
That's what jihadis are doing.
Continents. The terror group headed by Abu Bakr
terror group, Islam psychotic infected group.
Of those countries. ISIS has also
just like Nazi Germany, the soldiers.
Power vacuum in Libya, and
they don't care about their life. They have that drug in their system, propelling their brains.
Behind the black ISIS banner. So, how does the U.S. fight a war against a terror group that seemingly can go anywhere?
Keep in mind, terrorism is part of any religious psychosis. Like it's in schizophrenia, they can become violent. Look at the cross and the swastika. They are Christian
Hitler. This is proof. Here is the papal symbol of the Situs Julius and the swastika cross. The Jews suck the baby's penis and drink the blood. Psychotic, VT massacre in 2007. This lady recently, look at what she says, and ran into a cop. And this Colorado Springs gunman, look at what a Christian. And the Supreme Judge Scalia, Christ psychotic, look at what he believes. And here is Christian Serbia, psychotic, terrorism.
But by the time communism fell, Karadzic had jumped onto the nationalist bandwagon that already
They love to lie and cheat.
Slovenia and Croatia.
And all the Christians vote for people like that. They love them.
In 1990, Karadzic was selected president of the Serbian Democratic Party, which he helped found.
All
and
Christian.
2 years later,
Christ
he became
psychotic
president
person.
of the self-declared Bosnian Serb Republic.
Exterminates the Semitic people.
Yugoslavia.
Jews and Arabs and everybody.
For the next 3.5
Muslims.
years, the world would watch the siege and bombardment of Sarajevo,
Pious.
massacres in marketplaces,
Look at that.
sniper and mortar attacks on civilians, and
Look at
concentration
this.
camps filled with Muslims.
Pious
The
Christian.
goal was to carve out an ethnically pure
That, just like Hitler.
If you want to eliminate terrorism, you eliminate the infection of the brain, which is religion psychosis, which spreads in church, mosque, synagogues, temples, everywhere. And they force you to pray, which is to communicate telepathically with imaginary friends. Show me one religious psychosis that does not use prayer. In other words, communication with imaginary friends telepathically, and I'll stand corrected. Show me just one. In Pace Deorum. Eliminate religion psychosis, turn all the churches into a museum, as well as the mosque, synagogues, and all those places of infection, and then we will eliminate terrorism, all of the insanity in the world today, in this 21st century. Pace Deorum.